Just about there. Bow of the ship should be coming into view. There's the bow of the ship right there. Metal strapping right up over the front of it. Broken side rail on both sides, believed to have been done by the salvage company. Huge beam sticking up off the deck as a tow post. They would tie lines around that, run them to shore, hook to a team of horses or oxen. That team would pull this ship through the canal system to get around Niagara Falls. About a 30-mile journey. Companionway and chain locker. Storage for anchor chains and dock lines, sleeping quarters for two. The small metal rings to the side are hawseye rings. Anchor chains came out those rings. Anchors were stored right on the deck of this ship. Now as we continue to drift, we're going to go over a couple holes in the deck. First one is the foremast hole. It is 3 feet in diameter. The mast that stood from that hole, 110 feet tall, made out of a white pine. Directly behind it is the bilge pump hole, 12 inches in diameter. From that location, they would manually pump water from the hull of the ship anytime she took on water from rough seas or heavy rainstorms. Then you have the front or forward cargo hatch, a loading area for this vessel, and that's going to be followed by a narrow opening right down the center. About 3 feet away, there's going to be a beam running across. Centerboard trunk starts right there. It is built into the hull of the ship. All of these ships were equipped with raisable centerboards, 40 feet long, 8 feet tall. Raise them right up into the hull of the ship, going through the shallow waters or canal systems, drop them back down in open waters. Help navigate the ship, keep it running straight. We're over the midship area. This is where the salvage company dropped a log boom through the deck of the ship so they could send the hard hat divers down to get the high-grade iron ore. They weren't concerned with the integrity of the ship. Their main mission, get that high-grade iron ore. Hard hat divers, guys with great big brass helmet, leather suit, air hose running up to the surface, and hopefully his best buddy up there pumping him some fresh air. Because he'd spend hours down there loading chunks of iron ore into huge buckets, and then they would hoist it up. The gravel-like substance you see on the deck of the ship on both sides, that's remains of the salvage operation. Once we get out the East Channel, we're going to show you some bigger chunks of iron ore, separate shipwreck, the M.M. Drake. Then you have the aft or the rear cargo hatch, and if you check over towards the back viewing wells over here, you can see a piece of broken side rail, 55-foot piece that was broken off by divers back in the 60s. Right now we're going over the cabin area. It's about 20 by 20. You're going to see large beams down there in the dark water. Cabin floor rested right on those beams, recessed into the hull of this ship by about 4 feet. As we go across the stern deck, you're going to see a small hatch here. Primitive ladder went down to the bottom of the vessel. Halfway down the ladder, you could enter the cabin area. Going across the stern deck, you're going to see the rudder post. It's a metal steering mechanism used to guide the ship right there. And then right out over the stern itself, looks like you can reach out and touch it. That is 6 feet below our viewing wells. Wow is right. This is an awesome sight. I told some of the youngsters I was going to show them a pirate ship. What do you think?